Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football. Welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. This is a blockbuster video. Why? Because it finally looks like we are coming to the end of this whole Fofana saga, and it's happening. I'm about to bring you the latest. There was a here we go, but now there is more news. I'm going to let you guys know what it is. Before we do, I've got two things for you. Firstly, you know who this is sponsored by. Go into the link, download the OneFootball app for all of your latest football information, not just Chelsea related, all the other clubs across the globe, any league you want, any transfer news, any club news, any statistics, any results, fixtures, schedule, whatever, it's there in the OneFootball app. So make sure you hit that link in the description now if you haven't already. Download it like I have and enjoy. And secondly, where do you get your best Chelsea related merchandise from? It's shopcfc365.com. Go to their website now for the latest Chelsea related merchandise, and a personal favorite that has just popped up on the website, which is absolutely fantastic, alongside all the ones that are already on display. But this, the Todd Father, this is incredible. The Todd Father, an homage to Todd Bowley. There we are, on his throne. You can't get it better than that, really, can you? For the work that he's already done for Chelsea Football Club, I never thought we'd see the day that a different owner would come in and do what he's done. But fair play to him. You can get that t-shirt now alongside all the others. And on top of that, there's brand new phone cases for all of you to use for any iPhone device and any Samsung S series related devices. You can get them now. Make sure you head into the link in the description, and don't forget, you get free shipping on orders over 70 British pounds, that is. So make sure you bear that in mind, and please use the discount code in the description. It's funny because the last time I told you guys about this, there was quite a lot of you that actually went and bought stuff, but you paid full price. What are you doing? I'm giving you 10% off. Use the discount code YTF10 in the description. It says it there. Use that at checkout where it says if you want to apply a discount code, apply YTF10, you get 10% off, and Bob's your uncle. You're welcome. Head there now, link in the description, and get what you want. Enjoy, just like I have, straight out of Cobham. And trust me, more's coming my way, that's for sure. So I'll show you guys when I get it. Let's get into the latest. This is where it kicks off now, because Wesley Fofana, is it done? It's looking like it's more than done. It's just a matter of time. So what's the latest? Here it is. Wesley Fofana medical as new Chelsea player has been scheduled today, as expected. The main part will be completed in the next hours. Contracts will be signed also on the player side right after. Chelsea and Leicester agreed a fee since Friday. Here we go, confirmed. Very happy. Curious to know what the actual final fee is. I was hearing that it was near the £75 million margin, and if it is, then fair play. We didn't hit the 80 that they wanted, unless if we're applying an add-on. Now, if we're applying an add-on, then okay, fair enough. But it's finally over, and this news of the here we go came out before the Chelsea-Leicester game. Now, let's talk about the medical. Hopefully by tomorrow, despite it being bank holiday, we should be able to get confirmation. If not, I'm guessing by Tuesday at best, we will definitely get the official confirmation that Fofana has signed for Chelsea Football Club. Now, is it going to impact other players in the squad? We're going to come to a certain player later because there were question marks, so we'll come to that. But before that, let's jump into our midfield situation. Because right now, we know that Chelsea are lacking a defensive midfielder. But in terms of the options that we have in that position, actual defensive midfielder, we do have one. But he's not being given the time of day. In fact, we now know that he's leaving. So, here it is. Ethan Ampadu. Spezia are set to sign Ethan Ampadu from Chelsea. Been told is now progressing to signing stage. More details on deal structure to follow. Ampadu has agreed personal terms and full agreement between the clubs are in place. I read that this is going to be a loan deal with an option to buy. So at the end, if Spezia want to buy, they can put in a bid and they'll be first in line to get a bid done for Ethan Ampadu. Ampadu, it's a weird one because we need a DM. We urgently need a DM. And I know quite a lot of Chelsea fans, and I'm sure a load of you are included, that are looking to Ampadu and going, I would throw him in there. I'd give him the opportunity. We urgently need it. See what he can do. And then I do hear the other side of the coin. Shout out to my friend Miz, the other side of the coin. Subscribe to him if you haven't already. But I hear the other side of the coin. And there's others saying, but Tuchel would have seen him already. Tuchel would have seen him in training. Tuchel already knows what he can and can't do. He's just not good enough, maybe. But then you see him play for Wales, for example, and you see him the way that he does it over there. And it's like, he doesn't look bad at all. So it's a bit bittersweet, because right now, as I've said, we urgently need someone in that position. And I don't think we're going to do any business in terms of a defensive midfielder, which is tragic, because as far as I'm concerned, God forbid, if we end up in a situation that we're already in right now, where Kante and Kovacic are injured, and we have that later on in the season, bearing in mind we have a World Cup in between the season this season, funny, season, but in November, we've got a World Cup, players are going to be having all their eyes on that, they're going to be, Kante and Kovacic will probably be there, they're going to give it their all. If something happens to them and they can't come back, what are we going to do? In the end, we'll be in the same situation we've been seeing ourselves in right now at the start of the season, which is not good at all. And despite us getting the win against Leicester in the circumstances that we did, but my God, that midfield is more open than a 24/7 buffet. It's ridiculous. And I don't have a 24/7 buffet near me. I should. That does sound good. But it's a big hole. It's a big hole. And that will then, whatever chance we want in trying to pursue the title or even trying to pursue top 4, which is ridiculous. Because our standard, we should have midfielders that are able to do the job. So seeing Ethan Ampadu go would tell you that Chelsea are going to go into the market. But I just don't think we will. I have to say it's a big risk and I'm against it. I want us to go and get a DM. Because if something happens to Kante and Kovacic again, or imagine Kante, Kovacic and Jorginho, who knows? But Kante and Kovacic are the liabilities, especially Kante. Then we'll be lacking. So I don't get the logic there from Chelsea, Tuchel, but I don't understand. I don't understand that at all. And that's the one main criticism I have, because if we had a proper DM, it would be protection for Jorginho. It would be protection for anyone else that gets injured. It would be an option for us to go to protect that defence. It would be added security, less goals conceded, and more attacks created probably, because at least we have a DM that's able to take charge of the midfield and win the battle in that part of the pitch. So it's baffling how we're not going in for a DM. I find that astonishing. Anyway, moving on. Ampadu going out on loan with an option to buy it. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully it goes well for him. I wish him the best of luck out there. Hopefully he has a good loan. Di Marzio fills us in with the latest involving Manchester United. Ziyech getting closer to Ajax from Chelsea. Man United now set to sign Antony for 100 million euros, add-ons included. I mean, Manchester United. I mean, look, I'm not even going to lecture Man United. We've got no ground to be able to give them any sort of spending advice. When we're being really logical here, let's be real. We've done some good business, but my goodness, we've done some shocking business. I mean, we spent 100 on Lukaku. We were thinking of getting Antony for 60. I mean, we're a bit mad when it comes to money sometimes, but that is actually quite crazy. 100 million euros for Antony. That's... I don't know what to say. To be honest, I have to be honest. For Antony, I actually think Man United are buying a good player here. I'm not saying Antony's rubbish. He's not. I think he's actually going to slot in and do quite well for Manchester United. I think for what Man United need, Antony's going to provide that option. But 100 million... My goodness. You think they don't have money? They are minted if they're spending that sort of money on an Antony. Anyway, Ziyech. If Antony happens, which it's looking like it's going to, Ziyech will be going the other way. Which brings us to, what are we going to do on that right-hand side now? Well, there might be a solution, and I'm going to let you know what that is at the end of the video, so stay tuned. Let's get to the defence, because we spoke about Fofana earlier on, and there was rumours about Chalobah. If Fofana comes in, almost got his name wrong, if Fofana comes in, what are we going to do with Chalobah? Is Chalobah leaving? We all thought, you know what, if Fofana's coming, he's going to go out on loan. And there were clubs interested, Spurs included, weirdly enough. Well, we shut them down, and it looks like we shut everyone down. Check this out. Trevor Chalobah will not leave Chelsea. After talks with Inter, AC Milan and RB Leipzig over a possible loan deal, Chelsea have blocked the move and no change is now expected before the deadline. Tuchel and Bowley are decided on keeping Chalobah after internal talks. And Nizar Kinsella fills us in and says Chelsea have told Trevor Chalobah that they want him to stay and he's happy to fight for his place. He had big interest, but he's been told that he's part of the short and longer term future despite the imminent signing of Wesley Fofana. And I'm very happy with this. Very happy with this. And I can see the logic because we have to give praise here to Thiago Silva. The man looks electric. He looks unreal. We saw what he done yesterday. I didn't give him props. To be honest, I didn't give anyone in defence props yesterday. I was too bothered about the way we were moving the ball forward, the midfield, Gallagher, Mount, all of that. But Thiago Silva, what a rock. Now, bearing that in mind, we know he does not have long left. That's just the truth. And if we're talking about who's going to come central, it could be Koulibaly, it could be Fofana, it could be Chalobah. But Chalobah does have a future shortly. I think he'll stay, he'll fight for his place. He's a good backup option for now, but if he does manage to cement his way in there, in games where Silva needs to rest, because let's be real, Silva's not going to play every single game for this season. And if that were the case, Chalobah's the first man you turn to. We've got Koulibaly, we'll have Fofana. Yes, we've got Aspie, but we all know about Aspie. He's turning 33 today as well, by the way. Happy birthday, Aspie. 33 years old. Again, that's the answer in the question, basically. 33. You know? And if you look at Thiago Silva, for his age, but the way he looks after himself is ridiculous. You can already see Aspie's losing his legs, but Aspie can't play central. Chalobah can. Fofana can. Koulibaly can. So there is a way to mix it up a little bit and for Chalobah to get involved. There is a future for him. And later on down the line, a long-term future definitely in place for Trevor Chalobah if he takes his opportunity. So I'm glad that he's staying. I'm glad he's sticking around despite Fofana coming to the club. And yeah, we'll see how it all pans out. But in defence, we should now have more than enough in defence to be able to be solid. Yeah. But we know the problem isn't just about recruitment. I'm now stressing this because it's getting more and more clear day by day. The problem is the midfield. No matter what defence you have, it could be prime John Terry with prime Ricardo Carvalho. If Makalele was not there, they would have been under pressure. If Essien was not there, they would have been under pressure. It's key to have a defensive midfielder in your midfield to provide you with that solidity and that stability. And if you don't have it, you are literally laying a red carpet out for your defenders to be put under enormous pressure. This is why, yes, it's good to recruit in defence. Yes, we did need defenders to come and replace the names that had left. But that's not the prime concern in this team. It's the midfield. And it's not just in defence, but it's in attack as well. Because when we're talking on transition and we're talking about creating chances and we're talking about taking the ball off the opposition to try and launch a quick counter-attack, or the build-up and to assist a Jorginho or a Kovacic or a Kante, my God, the DM next to them would be fantastic. You know, that is the key. Both in defending and to move the ball forward. And we're not addressing it. So, yeah, that's my one concern. That's my one concern. But Chalobah sticking around, happy days. Now, talking about yesterday, we had a red card, didn't we? We had a red card last game against Leeds, Koulibaly, and we had a red card against Leicester City yesterday, thanks to Conor Gallagher, who was quite stupid, right? But got to give the boy his dues. He came out and he made a public statement saying this. It's his first mistake, so I think it's fair that we give him the benefit of the doubt because it's his first mistake, right? I don't want to see that again, though. So let's read what he had to say. This is what he said. From Adam Newson, saying Conor Gallagher apologises to his Chelsea teammates, staff and the fans after being sent off yesterday. Remember, he's a boyhood Chelsea fan and is from a family who all support the club. So yesterday will have hurt personally and professionally. I have no doubts, by the way, that yes, it would have hurt him professionally and personally. But you have control of the situation there. You're on a yellow card. What are you doing? Maybe it's inexperience, but boy, you're at Chelsea now. You're not at Palace. All due respect to Palace. And even for Palace, that's unacceptable. So can you imagine for Chelsea? You need to be big here. Mentally, you have to be strong. You have to be of a certain level. And if you're not, you're going to let yourself down and you're not going to show that you belong at Chelsea Football Club if you're making those sort of mistakes. But let's read what he had to say because this is from Conor. Proud of the team for digging deep today and winning with 10 men. Personally, I want to apologise to my teammates, staff and the fans. I take full responsibility for the rash decision, leaving them with a huge challenge for the rest of the game. Thankfully, they came through. So, this is my message, yeah. I understand personally that I think Gallagher does not belong in the position that he was put in the first place. I would like to see him, for example, to replace Mason Mount in a more offensive role, right? Right now, I think that's deserved. But regardless of what position you're in, you don't put yourself in that situation. You don't do something stupid, something rash, as you said. So I'm willing to give the benefit of the doubt on this. It's a silly mistake. He's young. He's come in. It's his first few games for Chelsea at the highest level. Cool. Don't want to see it again, though. Do not make that mistake again. Yeah? Clean slate. Let's move forward and show everyone what you can do, because we saw it at Palace. We saw it everywhere. You've come to Chelsea. Show it. Show it. So looking forward to seeing what he's going to do. I wish him the best of luck, and hopefully he brings us goals and assists. Now, we were talking about that right-hand side earlier on. Who's going to come in if Ziyech leaves? Well, we now have a name. And I didn't expect it to be this guy, but with deadline day now looming, I think we're going to, some would say panic buy, some would say no, this would be a great buy. Wilfried Zaha. Chelsea revive moves for Zaha, who only has a year left on his contract. Preference has been for a number 9, but Tuchel most wants an attack that interchanges at pace. Aubameyang still under consideration. The blurb of this as well says, below Chelsea consider late bid for Palace forward Zaha. Cristiano Ronaldo is also still a possibility, with his agent pushing a potential transfer to Stamford Bridge. This is, firstly, where is Aubameyang? That's what I want to know. What's going on? We all heard, and even Gerard Romero saying it's done. It's done. It's done. Aubameyang's going to Chelsea. Unless we've been trolled again, I swear, if we've been trolled by Gerard Romero one more time, I don't know. I might fly to Barcelona and link him up personally. I don't know. I don't know. At this rate, I don't know. I hope not. And I'd like to think not. But I want to know what's going on with Aubameyang. You know, he was all on the brink. Deal agreed. Fee agreed. Cool. Well, now, apparently he flew to Paris to come to London. Is that a 48-hour flight? What's going on? So we'll wait and see what's going on with Aubameyang. But in the meantime, I hope that's not a one or the other. If we're going for Zaha, I still want Aubameyang. If we're going for Aubameyang, I still want someone to replace Ziyech. It's not someone that's just going to come in and we're going to allow a striker, Lukaku, Werner and Ziyech all to leave, and for us to get one man. And Sterling, all due respect. But one more man. No. We need a leader number 9 or a striker, and we need someone to replace Ziyech. Hudson-Odoi could be leaving on loan too. What are we doing? So, yeah, I'd like to think Aubameyang and Zaha. Zaha, personally, look, it could be worse. Let's just say that. It could be worse. I don't mind Zaha coming into Chelsea right now. I think he'd have a lot to prove. I'd hope that he'd come in and find his feet. I do worry, I have to say, I'm not completely convinced with Wilfried Zaha. When you see him for Palace, yes, he can be, the star man, let's say, for the team. But it's not consistent enough. I feel like there are games where he goes missing. And you can't do that, Chelsea. You just can't. In that role, you can't. Look at the impact Sterling's had. I would expect the same from Zaha. I don't think we'd get the same from Zaha, though. But right now, in terms of our options, I would rather Zaha than just let Ziyech go and no one else come in. Zaha would bring us something, and I'd take it right now. So, with 1 year left on his deal, fee probably wouldn't be massive. I would do it. Ronaldo has been pushed to Chelsea one more time, apparently, with George Mendes trying to get Chelsea to look and go, look, Ronaldo, can you do something? And Tuchel apparently is still reluctant, although it's not been ruled out completely yet. It's not. So, I don't know. Right now, I have to say, Man United without him are looking all right. And he's coming on as a super sub, which is exactly what I think Ronaldo should be brought on for right now. And to be honest, if we're being logical, we don't need a super sub. We need someone who's going to come and lead the line and probably banging goals. Just like Haaland has now for Manchester City, which is outrageous. 6 goals in 4. We bought Lukaku. Anyway. Zaha is on the list apparently. We'll see what happens. Deadline day is looming. We have 3 more days until deadline day. Thursday at 11 p.m, if I'm not mistaken, is where the deadline day ends. Transfer window shuts. So, yeah, we'll see what goes down on Thursday. But up until that point, Let's hope we get a couple more lads in because we need it. And I wish we go in for a DM, but I just don't think we're going to. And I have to say, and you heard it here first, I think that's going to come back to bite us on the backside. Let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear everything in relation to what I've spoken about today. Let me know down below. Much appreciated. Don't forget to download the OneFootball app. Link in the description. And don't forget to go to shopcfc365.com. Get all your Chelsea-related merchandise. And please use the discount code YTF10. Don't just check out at full price and waste money. You can get your discount code. Get 10% off. Make sure you do that. Much appreciated. Hit the subscribe button if you are new. Hit the notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. Smash like button if you have enjoyed this. And I will see all of you tomorrow for a brand new one. Have a good one, people. See you then. Take care and peace.